Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Insurance Town. I'm the mayor, Heath Sheeran, and I'm the host of this podcast, and I'm pumped. As you can see, I got my man Jackson Rollo hanging out, and I got to get through some ad reads, which I'm excited to get to this conversation, but I want to make sure that I definitely honor my commitments and my relationships with my sponsors. I could not do this show without. Canopy Connect, who's been with me from the jump. They are the one-click solution to getting the deck pages you need to quote your prospects. And they also help you meet your customers where they are and let them work with you on their terms. Not everyone wants to just share their insurance the same way. When Canopy Connect built LinkFlow, they started with one method, which was, connect through a link. They log in, do the whole thing. Over time, they realized people wanted more opportunities and more ways to share. So they created, the way to upload files and document share. And they have a really cool platform for all of those things. And the best intake process is the one that actually gets completed accurately and easily. And so go check out their intake platform. If you're a Canopy Connect customer, check out your LinkFlow settings, enable the sharing path page. And if you're not, go check them out at usecanopy.com/Heath and get a discount, get a demo, all the things scheduled. Also, my good friends over at OneFort. OneFort is AI for insurance agencies. They help you save time, win more with commercial P&C by automating submissions, quoting, binding, all the things with AI. OneFort makes your life easier, smarter, faster, and easier, automating workflows to reduce cost and boost efficiency. With AI-powered quoting and servicing to help you close faster, they've already saved thousands of agencies, over 100,000 hours with AI technology. Go check it out, onefort.ai, and you'll be so happy you did. Tell them the mayor sent you and get a discount, or just learn more about them. Lastly, my good friends over at Viva. Viva is a VA company, but there's so much more than that. People choose them because they help you outsource the capacity with insurance-trained associates, licensed insurance agents at some places, managed capacity services, reclaim 20 hours of your week by offloading quoting, policy servicing, and carrier management. They have bilingual licensed professionals ready to handle coverage discussions and bind policies directly. Every process is recorded and sent to you and documented to your agency success playbook for total operational insurance excellence. So go check out vivavs.com and tell them the mayor sent you. Ladies and gentlemen, I love my sponsors. Thank you so much, sponsors, for being here. Thank you so much for being here to check out the show. It's been 3 minutes, Jackson. I told you I'd be quick. I'm going to bring my man Jackson in, and we're going to get to know him a little bit. I just found out we've actually known each other for a few years, and I didn't even realize that because I'm a terrible person, apparently. But Jackson Rollo, jump in here. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man. Thanks. I not every day get to talk to the mayor, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. I the honor's all mine for sure. And you're just as tough a guy to get a hold of as I am, man. We've been playing tag for quite some time now to get this done, so I'm glad we were able to do it. In full transparency, ladies and gentlemen, I thought he wasn't going to make it today. He's so busy. He came in a few minutes late, but we're here now, and I'm excited. You look good. The studio looks good, man. I like the brick background. Is that true exposed brick, or is that a backdrop there?
Yeah, no, it's true brick. Yeah, we funny story. I've actually never told this one before. So in our office, the way it works upstairs is kind of the executive quarters. So my dad has a big office on one side. My mom, who's our CFO for 20 years, she had an office on the other side. We grew so much that they had to actually split her office into 3. Hers was still really, really big. And it had this awesome attic, perfect for a podcast studio. So I was like, Mom, we need to build a podcast studio. She's like, I don't want it in my office. People will be coming in. Well, she got to the point where she was kind of semi-retired, never came into the office. So me and my little brother, who's our chief marketing officer, we decided to build a podcast studio in the attic. So she came in one day, the podcast studio is completely built, looks awesome. And she's like, yeah, I'm working from home. So not only did I get a podcast studio out of it, I actually got to move upstairs, and now I got a nice office upstairs too. So Mom awesome. Wasn't happy, but it worked really good for me.
That's awesome. Well, I'm sure she's happy now working from home because now she's.
But yeah, no, she's retired. So she hangs out with the grandbabies and does whatever she wants. Yeah, life is good.
Heck yeah, dude. I love it. Everyone wins. Everyone wins in that scenario. So before we get too deep in anything, Let's take a walk down memory lane. Let's get 30 seconds, a minute and a half, whatever you want to do. It's your world. I'm living in it. Tell me a little bit about you. Tell the audience about what led you up to where you are today.
Yeah, so I'm Jackson Rollo. I'm president of Rollo Insurance Group. We are a second-generation family agency. My dad's still our CEO. My little brother's in it. As I mentioned, my mom was in it. My wife was here. My sister-in-law. So I mean, big family business. And the agency's been around for 26 years. We've experienced some growth over the last 5 to 6 years. But the reality is, man, we're a family-owned agency. I think in this day and time, that makes you a little bit unique in and of itself. But we're just a family agency who loves taking care of people, being involved in our local communities. And it's been a blast. So I grew up not wanting to be in the business. But the moment I actually had enough wisdom to understand what this business was all about, I never wanted to be anywhere else.
Yeah, I totally get that. There's a lot of people listening to this as well. I've heard that a million times, as you probably have too, of I didn't want to get in this business, but now that I'm here, it's kind of like the mafia. Once you get in, there's no getting out.
People, I think
the same way.
I don't know about you, but people always assume because I'm second generation, like I wanted to be in this. And I'm like, no, I had just as a random chance of getting in it as you did. I just, talked to dad instead of talking to someone in a random interview. But I fell into it just like everyone else did.
Yeah, man, I hear you. Being second generation myself, and my father-in-law, he was an insurance agent. So my wife is second generation, and my brother's in the business. My whole family, again, very similar. I got cousins as underwriters, and I got my brothers in the insurance business. I'm in it, obviously. My dad's still selling to this day. My wife just retired. She was in the industry for a long time as well. So I get it. And so, but my route was a little different in the fact of I wanted to go in the industry, but I didn't want to work for dad, because for me, I struggle with this idea of I wanted my dad to be my dad, not my boss. And my working relationship with my dad was not the best, because we didn't know how to turn it off. I didn't know how to click that off to say, okay, now let's talk about normal Thanksgiving stuff, or talk about kids, or talk about whatever, but it was always insurance. I guess, tell me about that a little bit. What's that like with you and dad? Is there, or the whole family for that matter? Do y'all know, are y'all good at turning that off?
Some of us, yeah. Some of us, no. I'll let you guess which category I fall in. But no, it's a lot easier now. So, 4 years ago, my wife was in the business. My mom was in the business still. My sister-in-law was in the business. So literally family dinners could very easily turn into work conversations. Now the three of them, my wife and my sister-in-law, they stay home with the kids, and my mom, obviously she's retired. So now they make us turn it off when we start talking about work. So it's a little easier now, but I think honestly, Heath, it just worked for us from the very beginning. I mean, we clearly had to find our roles. We had to find what I was good at, what my dad was good at. We had to figure out a way to communicate in our own way, because probably like you and your dad, I mean, different generations, you look at things a little bit differently. He built the agency. I came into it already built. I think in terms of scaling, he thinks in terms of building it from the ground up still. So it's a nice balance, but you have to work hard to figure out how to make it a balance. One thing, and I know, I think you've read the book too, but Traction, right? The EOS system. One thing I love about that system is it builds on the word friction, right? So friction can either be what completely slows you down to stop, but friction is also what is needed to speed you up, right? And it can create energy as well. And so I think it's a lot about the perspective and how you look at it, right? We view any area We view any area there's friction as a way we should be looking at it, how we create energy out of this. How do we make things better because of it? And I think it's just, having a positive mindset about it. But it's a challenge. It took a couple of years for us really to find our lane and figure out how to work together. Yeah,
a couple of things I want to get into, and I'm not good at, doing this in any particular order. So my squirrel brain, the way it works, you brought up, the agency, and you said in your walk down memory lane, that you guys that have, been around, I think I said 26 years I wrote down, and then I can't read my handwriting. I'm writing that fast, but you've seen a real growth in the last 5 or 6 years, I think you said. Audience that's listening, I did my own search because I was, waiting for 4 or 5 minutes for him to jump in. And I was like, I'm going to look and see, a little bit more about the agency, maybe do a little 5 minutes homework before we get started. I don't like to script any of these. My audience knows that, but I did want to take a quick look while I was waiting. And it said 60 some odd offices, and, type in your zip code. So I put in my zip code in Arkansas thinking there's no way. And sure enough, he's got 2 offices in Arkansas. So you guys have seen a massive growth, in the last several years. And again, you don't have to retell the entire story, but is there anything in particular that you guys did differently from the first 21 years that helped you see that growth?
Yeah, I mean, clearly we did some things differently, right? We decided to grow a little bit faster, but I would tell you, the way we look at it is the first 20 years of the business, we're building the foundation. My dad, he deserves all the credit. He did something very few agency principals are able or willing to do, and he built an entire leadership team around him. Technology, finance, education, quality assurance, like all of these, what most people would consider non-revenue generating positions, right? It wasn't just agents and account managers. So because of that, whenever I walked into the agency, there was an awesome foundation to scale on and to build from there. And we always say, like, I could never have built the agency he built. And he always says, I